Hey Internet, it's RJ. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning into the show today. Now, today's episode, we are talking about a new or up-and-coming, soon-to-be-released credit card from Greenlight, their family cash card. So, today's episode, of course, we will talk a little bit about Greenlight, who they are. We'll talk about the card. We'll talk about Greenlight, their services overall, and do the math to see, who this card is for and if you should consider it. So, if that sounds interesting to you, of course, go ahead, press the subscribe button, and let's get to work. Now, first things first, Greenlight, they've been around for quite some time. They're focused on kind of like family products, family financial products. So you can see here they've been creating parent-child focused financial products for quite some time. They're for real though. They're players. They have about a $2.3 billion valuation at the moment, and that is based on their recent cap raise of $260 million in their Series D funding. Now, since they started and opened up shop in 2014, they've raised about $550 million total. Now, if you go back to 2017, they've actually launched a kids debit card, and at the time of taping, they've got about 3 million or so open accounts between parents and children combined. So again, they've been around for a while, and yes, the running joke here is if you watch a lot, I have no family of my own, and I'm just a guy who sits in the dark and talks to himself on camera, but don't worry, I think I can get us through this family financial product either way. So that is a little bit about Greenlight, and just remember that theme as we go throughout, because we're going to have to look at this through two different ways. We're going to have to look at it for the people who may be interested in Greenlight and the people who may be interested in the best credit card, so I'm going to try to walk you through both, but either way, we need to start with the credit card, so let's take a look at this. Now here we have it. It's called the Family Cash Card. It looks like it might be a metal credit card, but I don't know for sure. So starting out with the details, though, there is a monthly fee of $4.99. Now this will change depending on some things, so we'll get to that, but at least minimum is going to be a monthly fee of $4.99. Now the multipliers here, you get a range based on how much you want to spend on the card. So you get a 1x base, 1x on all purchases. You can get bumped up to 2x on all purchases if you spend between $1,000 and $3,999 in a month. And then if you want to spend, big spender here, spend $4,000 in a month, that will net you 3x back. Now, as in terms of sign-up bonuses and things like that, there isn't one right now. However, again, I said this card is coming soon because it is on a wait list. So I'm not on the wait list or anything. I can link it down below if you're interested. It doesn't benefit me in any way, but just take a look, get you to the place you need to go the quickest. Now, when it comes to the wait list, though, how do you move up the wait list? Well, you move up the wait list by referring more people. You refer people, you move farther up their wait list. Now, again, the first 1,000 people, I believe, who get approved for the card will get a form of a sign-up bonus. This is going to come in $100 in cash back with $750 in spend, but after that, I don't know what they're going to do. I would assume if you're on that wait list and you're out of the 1,000, then you're not going to get any bonus, and it seems like it's going to be pretty hard to move up that wait list, because again, it's going to be based on referrals, but of course, give it a shot if you're interested. So that's the card itself. Now, it is a cashback card with an option for other redemption. So if you take a look at it, the cashback option, pretty straightforward. I believe you can do statement credits or you can transfer out to a bank account. There is also an option for auto investing that money into a Greenlight, financial product. You're just basically investing with them, basically like a brokerage, I think it would be. But that really depends on your level of commitment to the Greenlight ecosystem and what plan you pay. So when we talked about that monthly fee of $4.99, that's the base one, and they have different plans that kind of scale up, and you get different things depending on which plan you pick. So let's now look at the plans, and we'll talk about Greenlight, as a service, and then we'll do the math on the card. So here you have it. I'll leave this on screen for a while because we're going to spend some time here. So the plans, there are 3 of them. So first of all, you have the Greenlight, which is $4.99 a month. That's where the fee comes in from the card, the minimum. So if you go down here a ways, you can see coming soon, credit card for parents. So at minimum, if you want the card, you're going to have the Greenlight plan. And that would be good for the cash back redemptions right there. Now, if you want to do the auto investing, you need to move to the next one, which is Greenlight Plus Invest. Jump up to a $7.98 a month fee. But then, of course, you can see you do pick up investing for parents right there. So, if you're interested in that redemption, there you go. You also add an investing for kids piece as well. And then the final one is Greenlight Max, so you're going to get that. Plus a few other things. Oh, there's a Greenlight Black card. Of course, there is Monitor, Bold, Black, and just for you, Greenlight Max Kids. I'm going to guess that one has to be the metal one. for $9.98 a month. I mean, that has to be metal. You also get some other stuff here: priority consumer support, identity theft protection, cell phone protection, and purchase protection. So really the first part of this card is going to come down to, what do you think of the Greenlight services? Because at first glance, people look watching this again. Some people are just here for the top credit cards, and I totally get it, and we'll talk about that very soon. But this is, again, it's meant to be part of their ecosystem. We see a lot of financial companies copy tech companies, and we just want to build out an ecosystem. So if you're already in Greenlight, it's a program that you're using for your kids, there could be some interest there. A lot of this, if you're going to do the invest, it's probably just going to be based on, what type of results you're seeing in the investing. I have no experience with it. I do not know, but if you like what you're seeing, just like imagine like your 401k if you wanted to open one yourself, right? You kind of stick with the company and say, this is decent return. Okay, I'm happy. It's probably going to come down to something like that you would just really have to try and keep an eye on. Now, the other piece of this, and the obvious one here, is that, a lot of this stuff you can get from cards with no annual fee with better multipliers that don't necessarily require that much spend. Cell phone protection was on the list. Well, there are MasterCards and Visa cards that offer you cell phone protection up to a level. There are cards that offer you 5x back, 4x back on things that don't have that level of spend commitment. So the obvious statement here is, unless you are going to either, one, be really into the investing piece and the family dynamic of it. The only way this really makes sense is if you're going to be able to spend $4,000 a month to trigger that 3x consistently. 3x is a really good catch-all multiplier, for just the $4.99, if you will, if you're not doing the investing. So if you want to do that, then, there's potential here, right? But if you can't do that, if you're only in the 1x space, I don't think this makes sense. If you're in the 2x space, you really have to like the Greenlight ecosystem already to make it make sense, because if not, then you're talking about getting a Citi double cash for no annual fee, or a Wells Fargo Active Cash maybe, or so something like that. You have plenty of 2x options, I guess, is the point. So let's take a look at the math though and see how this breaks down, because there is that annual fee in there, or monthly fee, I should say. So what we have here is the required spend to hit 3x is $4,000 a month. So if you do $4,000, let's say you hit it every single month, so 12 months. That's $48,000 a year in spend, which is quite a bit of spend, on a card. So if you take the $48,000 and you put it by 3%, you're talking about $1,440 in cash back, which is not bad by any stretch of the imagination. Now, we do have to factor in that annual fee or the monthly fee of $4.99. If you do it by 12 months and make it an annual fee, you're talking about $59.88. So your total yearly cash back will be $1,380.12, making the true multiplier closer to 2.875% back, which is still actually pretty good for a catch-all multiplier. But again, that is predicated on that you're spending $48,000 a month on this card. Now, it's a parent card, so they also, in my opinion, they mean it to be, mom and dad potentially are using this card on all their purchases, right? The other thing I think I would add is in one of the plans, they have an option for you to get a kid's debit card. But at this point, I know back in my day, we just got like allowance, like literal, here's $10 to take it to the school and do the event you have to do, right? I don't know if people are still doing that, but I would imagine if you're doing this and as a family, you're trying to hit the 4K and spend a month, if that's you and you're giving your kids debit cards, just give them a copy of this credit card. It's basically the same thing. Get them one if it's an option, and they can, whatever spend you have to do with them, while they're out and about, especially if they're older, can go to that as well. That would potentially be a use case to help. But overall, I think two things to wrap this one up. Again, clearly, if you're a credit card person, it can be done. This could be beneficial for you so long as you have high spending. Now, if you're in the Greenlight ecosystem, I think this is interesting because, again, we talk all the time about there's not necessarily financial education targeted at younger people, and we need to do this. So anytime a company comes into the space and they're like, hey, look, we're trying to do this and make this our target demographic, I do think it's worth a look, and we shouldn't necessarily write it off. And sometimes it does get written off if we only look at it from the lens of I want the best credit card available. Why would I ever pay $4.99 for this, right? There could be more to it, and I've tried to at least walk both sides of that line in this video. At least I hope I have. So I'll close with this. I'm really interested to see down below if there's anyone with experience with Greenlight. If you're in this ecosystem, what do you think? What do your kids think? What do your family think? You'd probably be helping out a lot of people with those comments that I just really can't provide because it's just me in this room right now. Of course, if you're into cashback, let me know if you're considering this in some kind of crazy manufactured spending scheme. I would love to hear your thoughts. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this one. So if you liked it, drop me a thumbs up down below. If you find it particularly interesting, of course, consider subscribing to the channel because we're posting content just like this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Of course, right back here every Sunday with all the news you can use in the week that was in credit and finance. Again, question for you is sound off down below with depending on which side you're on. Are you Team Greenlight? Do you have experience? Do you want this for a cashback card, or would you just look elsewhere? I'd love to get your thoughts on that. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this one. As always, thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you very soon in the next one.